When we are doing things in art, in life, as a mother, as a professional, how much agency do we have to change things? The point of departure was fear of what's coming, because I think there have always been the struggles. I mean, I have never lived my life without the struggle of gender and race. And for the first time, the recent years, I had the feeling that there was something that was beyond my own struggle. So I can struggle to change things around patriarchy and around race and racism, but there are things now related to the ecological crisis that are so beyond our individual responsibility. Not that I'm completely hopeless, still individual action and on your immediate environment, there's things you can still do to lead a more sustainable life. But I think it was the first time that I feared, like, I have children. What is this? What is gonna happen?
Where are we gonna go but up?
In the show, what I wanted to propose, especially because it's framed in the 80s, it is a moment that the self is gaining an importance as individual, that they are suddenly responsible for their success, and their freedom depends on consumption. So it's a new individual that is moving away from community towards a self-made person.
Establish.
The idea of mindfulness is what we connect today. Today, mindfulness is a practice. But back in the 80s, there was this idea of a lifestyle that was based, for example, in aerobics or fitness or becoming your better self. So that it's not that people were really morally aware of themselves more, but they were also becoming a product. So by being that person trying to be better or trying to be your better self, individually conquer success, you're also becoming a product. That image is becoming a product. So this effort of becoming better, of becoming more human, or the human you have to become, is already becoming an image that is sold and consumed. So capitalism or neoliberalism, that was a new term in the 80s, is capturing everything. But the crazy thing about this game, or any computer game, I think, is that you have this control in your hands, and the feeling is that you have all of the agency. Okay, I'm playing this character. I can go left, I can go right, I can decide if I jump, if I hide. So you have this idea that you have the agency, you're in control, but every part of the game is designed and scripted. So the big metaphor of the show, when I found the kind of a narrative format to work with, and I ended up choosing for the game, is to discuss this idea of agency. So what are we in front of this landscape that we are facing?
Welcome to Ego Rock, the home of a few hundred billionaires who survived the collapse of human civilization.
We live in a society that some people have a life vest, to save themselves, and others not. We accepted these ideas forever. But now with the climate, we see the middle class, we see all of us not having these jackets. So, okay, let's say this billionaire survives, so the individual rich survive. What kind of life do they have in this bunker? What kind of, over in Mars? Okay, they save themselves, but they save themselves for what, What kind of existence are they leading? And that's the imagination I wanted to propose. I wanted to look at them as individuals that lost completely connection with one another and are living completely in a virtual world, who's still serving money as this god. And when this system is unplugged, they're just actually zombified by the whole thing. And all these individual zombies, when they come out, they're fighting. The only people who survive were the indigenous people who still believe in community. By living more close to nature, they would adapt as a species, because they went for staying close to nature. So that's the imagination that I try to, that my head went with the things I read, with also my shocking experience with the ecological crisis in general.
Your session isn't over yet. We work with accumulation, Lua. It's important not to lose the rhythm.
I don't think there will be a moment that we won't be doing culture. Whatever the theater will be, it doesn't matter if we're going to tour or not, if we're going to be doing it the way it would be possible to be doing. I think this need for connection, this need for sharing aesthetic experience, I think it will always be there, because it's in the end about abstraction. You have the spiritual need. There is a spiritual need in society that is sometimes answered by religion, by meditation, whatever it is, that is a connection to the divine or the unknown. There is a role for the aesthetic experience as well that responds to this kind of connection as well, that is pulling from the unknown. And these abstractions that art make, I don't think will disappear. When I feel most hopeless about the future, what I believe that I can give my children is flexibility, I would say, in the mind. The ability to think critically, to read the room, to read the situations they are in, but a lot the idea of kinship, of connecting with others, and understanding true value that is not depending on what they have or what they can consume, but a connection with themselves. If the world is going to look like we think it's going to look like, I want them to be flexible, tolerant, empathic, loving.